Hey everyone, right, mini albums. So I did the really basic one yesterday and finished it off. This is my first ever mini album. Right, the cover is miles too big, but I'd found something and I thought, ooh, so I decided to have a play. So the very basic pages, which is just a big, like a tuck spot for a large tag. And then I figured out that there were flip out pages, so I decided to try it. And I kept trying it, and then we had ones that open like that, and then they open again and again. So 2, 3, 4 flip outs, a little bit of a waterfall thing. It was like discovering a whole new art form. And I was like, whoa, loving it, you know. So bits that flip up, bits that come down. I discovered a lady called Shelley Geigel, I think it is, on YouTube. Something Creations. It could be JS Creations. I'm not 100% sure, but I binge watched her videos, and this is going back about 8 years or so, I think. So we have little bits, and yeah, it all got a bit silly, basically because I was just trying everything, which is my way, and then finished off with a little one. But as you can see, yeah, I've always liked colour. What I'm proposing is nothing like that one. The same basic thing, but nothing as fancy. I'm actually going to be making a Christmas album because I've got loads of Christmas paper. So the main basis of it is something called a hidden hinge, which is that. Quite easy to make, and the pages, very much like the first one I did, the pages are folded and put on there. So each page will have like an inner tag, or a main pocket for tags. Now I've sorted out some Christmas papers. I've also got some plain ones to make a couple of fold out pages. So this is going to have 5 pages in total, plus all the fold out bits and what have you. But first of all, we need to make the cover. So I've actually cut chipboard. Let me move all these out of the way for the moment. So I've actually cut chipboard, but there are, if you don't have chipboard, I was having a play around, 2 pieces of cereal packet glued together give you basically the same thickness as that chipboard, and the same for the spine. So this is my way of doing this. There are a couple of ways of doing it. If you've got a huge sheet of paper like this one here, it's very much like making a hardcover mini album journal, just a normal journal, and you just glue everything straight down. I don't. I want to cover mine in some designer paper. I should explain. You lay it on, leave about 1/4 inch gap either side. I'd normally use my ruler just to line everything up, glue it down, and then fold the edges in. But because I want to use designer paper as a base, I've got some of this. Same. Sorry, let me get rid of all this. I've taken all the papers from first edition, Christmas Promise. That's like every single page has come from. So for me, I'm going to be doing it in 3 different pieces. So I want them all to go to show with that piece of that pattern. I really like that pattern. Or maybe that one. So first things first, which side do I want? I think I'm going to line it up to that side there. although a lot of it will get covered under it. Now, because it's I'm going to cover the spine piece after, I only need to take it, you don't need to take it up to the edge. If your paper's a bit short, it won't matter, because the piece that goes over the spine will cover that. Okay, so yeah, this is so much the same. Right, I want that bit glued down. It's the same basis apart from the, like I said, the hinge. I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff on the cover, so I need to make sure it's all glued. So I want it up to the edge, and then I need about 1 inch seam allowance. Actually, I might just leave a bit of the edge clear. So I've just left a piece, and then I know I haven't got any overhang there. And I'm going to leave about 1 inch again. And this is actually quite thick paper, so it will take a bit of creasing, I think. Ooh, can't be scissors straight. So I'm just cutting across. And this just makes sure you don't have any bulk. Although saying that, I've cut that piece a bit close, but we'll get over that. Okay, which bits to do first? Let's do these bits. Now you could use whatever type of glue you like on this. So, because it's quite thick cardstock, I like to bend it up first. Bend it over, and then I've got the square on the edges. If you want, you can always run your bone folder up just to get it nice and flat. Now, the important thing to remember is fold that piece in. Same as doing fabric journals, the same as doing any kind of mitered corner. So it just gives you a nice finish. Right, now I'm going to do this one. You can use the double-sided tape if you're brave enough. I'm not, because it sticks in all the wrong places for me. So I'm just folding it over, ease it into shape. That's got it. Same thing again. Now, because I cut that one a lot closer, there's hardly any bulk there, unlike that one. So let's just and then glue away. Just make sure all my edges are stuck. And it does give you quite a nice finish. And obviously that piece will then have another piece put over the top once it's all finished assembled. One thing I should have said, it does, so that is an up. That's a top. I must remember that. Oops. Top. So that one is going to be the front piece. Okay. This one I think I'm going to put on this corner. Down there. When you cut your board, I find I get left with ridges from my cutting things, so I tend to put those on the inside and the nice smooth bits on the outside. Yes, that way. So, trying to think, I'm going to need to make it the opposite bit to that one. Oops. I'm just going to spread my glue around. Okay, let's cut this one out. By doing that, sometimes it gives you perhaps a clearer view of where you're going to be cutting. Oh, that's a bit close. Or a bit too much left on. All it needs to do is just cover that corner. That's it. Right. So if I go in at pre-bend everything, so I know where glue's going. Right, so that bit's the top. It's got to go out that way. Okay, spine piece. These I'm so sorry I never mentioned the sizes. These are same size as before, 6 1/4 squared for the front. Now the spine is 6 1/4 by 1 3/4. Now I want that on the outside. I quite like that, but it doesn't go. So that and that does go. So I'm just gonna. I want 1 3/4 to 3. I've got to have a 1/4 inch seam allowance plus. So if I put that on there, so there's a 1/4 inch in the middle, and then I'm allowing myself 1 inch overhang. So it will, actually that might be too much. Okay, let's move that back. So I'm going to add 2 inches onto it plus 1 inch top and bottom. So 2 3/4, 1 3/4. So 3 3/4. That's 6 1/4. So 8 1/4 is what I've got to cut this piece out at. So I'm just going to do this, and I'll be right back. Okay, right. Now then, I'm going to glue this, and the trick is, I want that piece glued in, is to try and get it in the middle. Oh. So I'm thinking that's about right. Otherwise, you're... So I've got 1 inch over there. Yep. And yep. Now I need to make sure this is really pressed out, because what you don't want is your spine covering, lifting off. Okay, now then I need, so this piece I'm going to leave about a 1/4 inch gap. It doesn't have to be spot on, it needs to be something light, but the top and bottom bit do need to measure up. So I don't mind if I get a bit of extra glue on. Okay. So I do need it about there. It needs to go up a touch. That's got it. Okay. And then on the front, now I am going to put lace over the seam or something like. like I say, if you've got a piece of paper that you can fit everything on, or indeed if you make a smaller one and you can do it all in one piece, it is easier than doing it this way. Now I'm going to get this covered in glue, but hey, so I need it there. Turn it over. I'm thinking that perhaps a contrasting trim might look better. Oh, I can live with this. And then, where's my bone folder? You're just easing the cardboard up and over the top. And then I can glue down. Although, I've forgotten something. I told you it's been a long time since I've made these. I am going to cut down because otherwise I'm going to end up with a huge sort of bulk in the middle. You don't have to do this by any means. You can just fold it over and live with it, which is what I would normally do. But it's like, come on, let's do this properly. Right. Now we can glue little bits on. I've got to learn not to put so much glue on. Let's do it up first. Flip it over. There we have one folder. Very quick, and you could use these for junk journals, for anything like that. Okay. I've decided that that bit looks, oh I don't know, they're about the same. I quite like that on the front. Yep, we'll keep that as is. Right. Your hinge, or the hinge, will go, oh, I've got a bit of glue coming up. This is a a practice one because I couldn't remember how to make it. So we'll sort of sit in the middle like that. Okay, right, I'm going to sort everything out for the hinge and then we'll be right back. Hey everyone. Right, this is actually take 2 of this part of the video because I was sat editing it last night and suddenly realised what I'd done didn't go. So we will try again. This is for the hidden hinge. The mistake I made yesterday was I actually did this and I can't. Right, so this is a hidden hinge. So your pages go either side of that upright and you can't see them. So unfortunately I made it in this colour as well and suddenly realised that's not going to go with the colour scheme I've got for this mini album. So hidden hinge. Uprights, as many as you need for your pages. I'm going to be doing 5. This was just a practice one that I did to get the sizings right. And I've left a 1/4 inch gusset, if I hold it up, so 1/4 inch between each page. You could have more, you can have less, it very much depends on how much embellishments you're going to put on your page. So I've left myself a 1/4 inch on that side there to be able to, if you like, either side of the upright for when it goes on the spine. You can leave as little or as much as you're comfortable with. So for me, for a 1/4 inch either side of the spine and 5 pages, I cut this at 6, which is 6 deep, which is the size of my page, and I've cut it at 6.5 long, as you can see. So I haven't cut it quite square. So I've left it, so I've got a 1/4 inch, which is where I've made my first score line, and then I've gone a 1/2 inch and another 1/2 inch, and that will make the first upright. Then I've gone a 1/4 inch, which is how much I want from the gusset between pages, and then I've made another upright, so that's half, and then a 1/4 for the gusset, and then a half, and a 1/4 for the gusset, so on and so forth until I've got the amount that I need. I hope that's clear. Right, now on the back I've put some 1/4 inch double-sided tape. Gosh, look how old that is. And I've put it on one side of the upright. So if I show you, if I fold it over, that will become, let's get rid of that little bit, that will become an upright. So there's a bit of glue there, or the sticky tape, to hold it down. So if I peel it, I can show you what I mean. So fold that over, and that then becomes the upright. So the next one, same principle. Peel that off, fold it in half, and we now have 2 uprights, albeit a bit squished at the moment. And then it's just keep on repeating. I'm probably making about as much, I'm probably being about as clear as a puddle of mud, I'm thinking, but I think this is one of those ones that you really have to try it to suddenly go, ah, now I know what she means. And for this one, because it's a little awkward, I will come back this way. And so I'll open it up. Bend my little bits that are going to go on the page. I'm just going to burnish everything to make sure everything is stuck. And then I'm going to fold them back the other way as well, so that right, there we have. Straighten them up a bit. So we have a spine for 5 pages. Right. Inside of the book, as you can see, peeled off. So I'm thinking, I've cut this to fit about 1/8 of an inch shorter than I actually want it. So my cover is 6 1/4, so I've cut it at 6 1/8. I've got quite a bit of overhang on it because I need to cover up where I went wrong. Now the reason for tape on it is because I don't want this bit lifting off the spine. So when you put this in the middle, it's going to be holding some weight with all the pages and embellishments. So that needs to be anchored down quite firmly. I'm just going to burnish these. If you're not putting much in them, then by all means use glue. And I've used glue and it does work. It's just, it's not quite as stable perhaps as double-sided tape. So I started off with a 1/4 inch and then realised I'd actually got some 1/2 inch. Oh, that's a little bit, come on. Gotcha. No, I think I actually like that on the inside. Now I am also, because I haven't got it running right to the edge, because I need to be able to position it without the tape going on it. Because once the tape's on, that's it. It's stuck. Right, now I am going to put glue all over, just in case I miss some bits with the tape, especially at the top and the sides. Oh. Now I'm not distressing this in any way, shape or form. This is purely, sorry, I'm going to have to move this a little closer to me, because I need to make sure I get it about level. I know you can use the glue sticks as well to do to give your tape a bit of slide, and I've never actually got around to trying that. Right, bend it up very slightly so it sort of gives, and then you can just burnish into the spine. So you're sort of coaxing it without breaking anything. Okay. If you see any creases, just run your bone folder down and it will, by its very nature, it's paper, it's going to crease. So the idea is just to try and minimise it as much as you can. Okay. Oh, see? That glue isn't dry. Okay. Now, for the spine, I am going to go ahead and put on double-sided tape on this because I don't want it coming off. Where are we? No. There. So I am just going to cover everything, and I'll trim it off after. Oh joy. It's one thing I could never quite get the hang of, was ripping the tape. And I want the last piece to go up to the edge, but not over it, because I don't want it showing. Okay, let's trim that. What we got? So I'm just going to trim the edges off. I mean, to save this job, you can just cut the tape to begin with. Okay, let's burnish that. Make sure that's well and truly stuck. And now for the fun job of peeling it all off. I couldn't believe it when I looked at it and thought, oh no. Right. Let's open it out a bit so you can see a bit more of what you're working with. This is a bit fiddly. Right, sorry, I really do need to lean over now, so I apologise if my head gets into shot. Just trying to line it up. Come on. For goodness sake. Oh dear, junk journals are so much easier. Do you know, I'm thinking that just making sure everything is pressed down. There we go. Now I know a lot of people go right to, I'm just trying to find a piece of paper, go right, put these bits over the hinge, and then they'll put their designer paper on the inside like that. But I actually like that. But it's whatever suits, it really is. Right, let's see if my glue has stuck enough to bend it up. There we go. So there we have the basic mini album with the hinge system ready for pages to go on. Right, all that's left now is pages, which will wrap it over the top like that. So you don't see the hinge, you don't see anything like that. But I think we've done the basics. It's a half-hour video already. The rest we will do over the next day. So today we've made the folder, tomorrow we start doing the pages. Right, I hope you found that useful. I hope I've made sense. You take care and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Bye.